right, first up today, a love story with an important message. Marty says it was love at first sight when he met Elaine in high school. That was 67 years ago. They got married, had kids, and then a life-altering diagnosis. 17 years ago, Elaine found out she had early onset Alzheimer's. Former Wisconsin Governor Marty Schreiber joins us again this morning. Super excited. Hi, Marty.
Well, hi, and good morning. I have a tip for everyone, and that is if you're going to wash your bathrobe, take your phone out of the pocket before you put it into the clothes washer. And
Right?
it
Good
took one
tip.
time for me to learn that. So
Yeah, it sounds like you're speaking from experience. Have you washed your phone before?
I washed it just once, but it doesn't do any good once you wash your phone. What happens is it doesn't work anymore, and that makes it tough. So, but good morning
Makes
to
it
you,
real tough.
and again to
I
you,
think the
Holly. And
timing of our chat today is really good with Valentine's Day coming up and sharing your love story with Elaine. And I just wonder when it comes to Valentine's Day, what do you think of at this stage of your life? What comes to mind?
There's a saying that rather than worrying about the storm to pass, to try and learn how to dance in the rain. And I really wish I would have danced more. I can remember any number of times when Elaine and I would be going for a walk. Of course, this was after her diagnosis, and she would see a flower and say how pretty it was, and I was too busy with my own life that I left her uh, unacknowledged. I left her alone in her delight. And what I have learned is that if we can just join the world of the person who now is, and no matter if they have Alzheimer's or not, how just truly important it is that we can share those moments. I unacknowledged is a word that comes to my mind, and I can remember when I was in second grade, there was a young fellow named Ralphie. Well, on Valentine's Day, it was my appointed responsibility to deliver Valentines, and Ralphie got so many fewer Valentines than anyone else. And I could see the hurt on his face. I could understand what it felt like, at least from seeing him, what it felt to be uncared for and unacknowledged. And it's not only Ralphie, but I think it's every person. And what we need to try and understand is the nurturing, the everyday nurturing of love for one another, not just on Valentine's Day. And gosh, I brought Elaine jewelry over the course of time, and that's all gone. Either it was lost or something, but the jewelry doesn't matter. Roses, yes, very important, but to make sure that we acknowledge our loved one, to make sure that they know we are joining their world and sharing their delights with them. Gosh, I think that's the most important thing that I have learned through this whole process, and particularly remembering it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it is an important time to remember those special people, and you make such a great point about stopping and smelling the roses. It's a cliche, but truly is important. I wonder, because you were a caregiver for so many years and still are, what advice would you give to other people to show love for those that they care for?
Well, as far as caregivers are concerned, people have to understand, and it's truly one of the toughest jobs in the world. And it's one of the toughest jobs in the world because you see your loved one die every day. You have an unacknowledged, a self-unacknowledged grief, a self-unacknowledged depression, the anxiety and the worry, and you see your loved one, no matter how hard you try, not getting any better. So anyone who knows of a caregiver, please acknowledge what they are going through. And if it is possible for you to help them in one way or another through shopping and or even taking the dog for a walk or just coming over and spending time, if you can do that, how important that is. And I see, just the holding of hands. I see Elaine, like I said, an hour twice a week, and in that time, gosh, it's listening to Anne Murray. May I have this dance for the rest of my life? How important that is.
Absolutely. We're running out of time, and I want to make sure that we're able to share some important resources with people who love someone with Alzheimer's. But just really quick, looking back, is there any one thing that you had wished that you'd known or done that you now think of and look back in hindsight?
Two things. One is I wish I would have been smart enough to know that I couldn't do it alone. That was number one. The other is to understand how important it is to join the life and the world of the person who now is. And no matter how difficult, to let go of the person who once was. And gosh, as long as I tried to pull Elaine and keep her in my world, there was this anxiety on both of our parts. And once I understood that it's me joining her world, that made life so much better for her, for me, for the future, for now.
I know so many people appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning. Happy Valentine's Day to you, Marty.
Well, thank you, and back at you. Thank you, Molly.
Absolutely. And you have so many great resources that you've used, that you've shared with other people. I want to start with the book. You wrote this book, My Two Elaines, because you wanted others to know your story and to be able to help other couples understand what to expect with Alzheimer's. All net proceeds go to caregiver support programs. You can search for it anywhere that books are sold. Marty also wants to share this great resource. It's the Alzheimer's Association. They have a 24/7 helpline. You can call 800-272-3900 or go online to alz.org.